Her stomach fluttered when she saw the tall figure leaning on the huge black Ford truck, arms crossed over his impossibly broad chest. So he'd meant it when he said he wasn't going away. Crap. Mel tried to ignore him, but stole a glance at his long, muscular legs encased in dark jeans. Bad idea. It only made her remember them naked and entwined, something she'd been trying to forget about since last Tuesday morning. Em and Val gasped collectively behind her. Rapid clicking of high heels shouted as they hurried to their vehicles. Traitors. Not even a goodbye as tires squealed their way out of the parking lot. Jared cleared his throat when Mel hit the unlock button on her fob by the driver's side door, but she did her best to pretend he wasn't there. Of course his truck was next to her SUV.
Mel.
Her real name on his lips made her whole body flush. She sucked in a breath and tried to glare. What are you, a stalker? I'm gonna call the police. Their gazes locked and her heart stuttered. Even the smirk on his face was gorgeous. She melted a little and couldn't look away from the dark brown depths in front of her.
Baby, I am the police.
Seriously? Is that your idea of a pickup line? He was at her side in seconds, grabbed her hand and kissed her knuckles.
Thought we'd established I didn't need one of those with you.
His expression was sincere, despite his playful words.
Go out with me.
No. A tremor shot down her spine.
Why not?
Because I'll end up in your bed again. She'd never admit that out loud, not when he was looking at her like that. We have nothing in common. His eyes bored into her until her core warmed and throbbed. She knew what he was going to say before he opened his mouth.
I think we both know how wrong you are about that. The night we met proves how good we are together.
In bed. He didn't have to add those words. Mel shivered anyway. There's more to life than sex.
Right.
Jared nodded.
Which is why I want you to go out with me.
He snaked an arm around her waist and pulled her into his chest. She squirmed, but her traitorous body moved into him instead of away. No. The stupid denial exited on a half moan.
I can't get you out of my head, Mel.
He whispered into her hair and her stomach flip-flopped. Don't say my name. The demand was never born, and his confession alone was enough to turn her into a puddle and make her beg for him. She resisted, wiggled for him to let her go. When his mouth crashed down on hers, she stilled, her hands on his hard pecs, and kissed him back without hesitation. Couldn't help it. Her whole body tingled, warmth spreading down her limbs and settling low in her belly. Her sex pulsed, pleading for him. Their tongues danced, twined and dueled. She wrapped her arms around him when her legs wobbled, but Jared held her closer, pinning her to him. He kissed her harder, making her head spin. Desire melted her, and Mel squeezed her arms around his neck, needing to meld into him. What is this man doing to me? She'd never reacted like this to David's kiss. Breathing was difficult, but she didn't want to stop kissing him. Couldn't stop. Jared reached down, squeezing her bottom with both hands rocking his hips. His erection ground into her pelvis, and it wasn't nearly enough. She wanted to lift his shirt and run her hands over his defined lines, like she'd done the night they'd been together. Touch him, kiss him, then have him inside her. Wait, that'd been the alcohol, right? She'd been upset about David and had too much to drink. No, so it wasn't the alcohol. Jared's kiss was just as potent sober. Oh, crap. Mel was in trouble. She yanked away and slipped out of his arms, swiping her hand across her mouth. Tried to glare. No, detective. That is all you want from me, and it's not going to happen again. Forget it. She couldn't bring herself to declare being with him was a mistake, because it hadn't been. Darn it. He shook his head and reached for her, but she scooted back until her ass hit her SUV's door. His wide shoulders drooped, expression fell, but she refused to fall for it.
That's not all I want from you. I want to spend time with you, Mel.
No. She didn't buy it for a second. He was hot. He could have anyone he wanted. Jared was a cop, for God's sake. Mel wouldn't be anyone's booty call. David had made her into that, cheating. On her, but with her, too. He'd married someone else. Had a son and another child on the way.